everybody, John12 back here again with another Who Would Win battle. And of course, it's that time of the week again where I take two fictional characters, put them together, let them fight to the death, and then I get shitted on in the comment section from you fans. That being said, I'm also here with a special guest, Evilscar23.
Oh, what's up?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously, I'm recording this in his house, so that's why there's no music in the background or, anything good, because it's his house, and everything sucks when it goes down to Evilscar23. However, before I get into the actual fight at hand, you started doing your Who Would Win battles, your fictional fights of fictional characters that don't really matter, but we can't stop discussing.
Yeah.
Your first fight was Iron Man versus Wolverine. What was that like?
No, it was actually kind of fun. I know a lot of people on YouTube like doing those fights.
Yeah.
And I wanted to sit down for once and just think, you know what? I wonder what it's like to do one of these fights. Like, take two characters.
Right.
Take two characters, doesn't matter which characters, and just see which one of them would win.
Yeah.
So therefore, it forced me to start my own series called Scar Dome. We take these two characters, we take them to the Scar Dome in the ring, and we let them fight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was fun.
Have you gotten any shit?
Not really. So far, people
not like me, where I get shit all the time.
well, to be
not that I'm trying to discount anyone's opinion. Everyone's opinion is valid.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say that, like I say, it's a subjective opinion. You don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to, call me out and shit. I'm just saying, John12 meant something, but now it doesn't anymore. Ever since I started doing these battles, now I've been called out as the Goku dick sucker. But what are you gonna do?
Well, to be fair, at this point, you're already wave 2.
Yeah. I'm in mid wave 2. We're almost done with it, so.
But you've done a bunch.
Yeah,
I just started.
I've done a bunch by now.
I just started, so obviously it's going to take some time.
Yeah, so the hate will begin one day, but it's not here.
Well, but overall, certainly not between my battle for Iron Man versus
yeah, one day it will happen. There will be a fight that will just be so debatable. It's so speculated that people are going to be like, Evilscar23, the fuck are you smoking, bitch? You don't know what you're saying.
Goku versus Superman?
Yeah, exactly. I actually got a request, which I didn't reply. I don't think it was in my last Who Would Win battle, but it was essentially a request from a specific YouTuber.
Right.
Because I get tons of requests for Who Would Win battles, which are all awesome, but I got one in recent times of Goku versus the Sentry, which is basically Goku versus Superman, just worded differently. And I told the guy, I was like, dude, that's a good idea, and it sounds nice, but I can already see the bad comments. After Goku versus Superman, I can see the terrible comments coming my way already. And he actually kind of got negative towards me. He was like, I'm paraphrasing this, but obviously he was angry that I, bitched about my, his reply.
Right.
And he said, wow, you do everyone else's request, but not mine. How rude. It was kind of absurd. But overall, if you're listening, YouTuber who requested this, I forget your specific username, but if you're listening to this, I want to make it perfectly clear that I don't like the idea of Goku versus Sentry. I think it's a decent idea. It would be a cool fight, but after the rant, the notorious rant that I made, which is I like to call the rant of legends, after that, I don't think it's a good idea to put big over the top OP characters like Goku or Superman or fucking Sentry in a fight together, because
it's hard.
It's hard to fucking calculate which fight would go where. So
at the same time, you really don't want to alienate all the fans of either character.
Yeah, Screw Attack has done a good job already at doing that. So I don't want to be a part of that. So there's that. But overall, I'm here with a new Who to Win battle that was requested for me, and it's obviously Knuckles from the Sonic universe versus Bowser from the Super Mario universe. Two video game characters coming together, colliding, and we're going to give our overall thoughts. I'm going to start off with Knuckles. He's going to start off with Bowser.
Yeah. And
then we'll give you an overall winner, which is our subjective opinion. He and I are not really that huge of fans of, would you say, of Mario or Sonic characters? I'm kind of 50-50 on them. I like them, but I'm not, gigantic fans of them. What about you?
We love playing the games, but we don't really. We're not very knowledgeable on Knuckles. For example, if someone came up saying, "Oh yeah, I know everything there is to know about Knuckles,"
right?
I couldn't really go up against a battle as to who has more knowledge. So
exactly,
Knuckles and Bowser. They're fun characters to play with in the games, but they're not characters that we know as much as, say, like a Goku or a Batman.
Exactly. So this will be a very unbiased opinion. So obviously, at the end of the day, when this video is done, in the comment section below, please give us your opinion on who would win, Knuckles versus Bowser. I was about to say Beerus there for a sec, but Bowser. And of course, you can go at our Twitters, at Josh12 and at Evilscar23, which you can, of course, use the hashtag who would win, Knuckles versus Bowser, if you want to debate it there too. So overall, comment below, go to Twitter, let us know what you personally think. But overall, do you want to start off with Bowser, sir? Powers and abilities?
Let's start off with Knuckles.
Knuckles? Why? Because I've been talking, I have to talk more. Let's see.
Man, plus I want to enjoy one of these.
I guess. Let's see here. Knuckles obviously is very powerful. I think the coolest thing when it comes to Knuckles is that my popularity for him goes based off looks. I don't know about anybody else, but Knuckles, I don't know why, but I was a huge fan of Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega Genesis, and I also really liked the animated show that they created for Sonic, if you remember that. And Knuckles, I always felt was like a good comparison is like Goku and Vegeta, like Knuckles was like the Vegeta of the Sonic universe. Like, he was angrier, he looked more of a badass, he just kicked ass and he was stronger. Like, Sonic is the fastest character, but Knuckles had the muscle. He was the muscle, and I like that. And that's pretty much the general gist of Knuckles' powers and abilities. He's super strong. He's, I think, the strongest character within the Sonic universe. And there's multiple, different points they can go after when it comes to Knuckles' power, specifically strength-wise. And, let's see here. I'm trying to move this specific browser, but it sucks. Once again, got to keep in mind this is Evilscar23's computer, which is outdated by, 20 years. But overall, obviously, Sonic has multiple transformations as well. He also has Supersonic, Hypersonic, and also various other transformations like that increase his power. He's also, like most other Sonic characters, super speed. He has super strength, super stamina, super durability. He's also very smart.
He's basically Sonic, but angrier.
Exactly, and also he's an expert combat. He's an expert in combat skills. And
the anger makes him more aggressive in a battle.
Exactly, and also, if I'm not mistaken, Knuckles is an expert martial artist. If I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much a brief rundown of Knuckles' powers and abilities. Essentially, if you know anything about Sonic and characters from that universe, he's essentially Sonic the Hedgehog, except he's angrier, he's more of a badass, he's much more stronger, and of course, he has super speed, he can fight, he's very skilled, he's a martial artist, and there's tons of transformations he has that increases his powers tenfold. But
the anger makes him a lot more aggressive and vicious, but at the same time, can't really outsmart.
Exactly, there's the difference that lies between these two characters, which we'll get into further. Evilscar23, please go on with Bowser's powers and abilities, if you will.
Be glad to.
When you're not fucking wasting our time with smoking.
Be glad to.
Yes.
Alright. So check this out. Evilscar23 in the fucking house, alright? Check this out.
Yes.
Now, I know everybody's used to the typical John Doe 12 who would win battles, but you know what? You got me in the house now. It's time for a little variety.
Variety?
Oh shit!
see what I mean? This is the debacle of this fight. We're using Evilscar23's computer, which, like I stated, is outdated by 20 years. It's a Dell, and if you know anything about Dells, they're not really that good.
Right.
So there lies the problem with this specific fight. Overall, but anyways, if you will, please.
But to be fair, folks,
please.
As powerful as Knuckles is. He's not, don't sell Bowser short. You know what I mean? Bowser does have some really interesting and unique powers. For one, just look at the size and the mass.
Specifically his fire breath.
Exactly.
He has a specific ability that, trump cards Knuckles' powers.
Right.
Which is his fire breath, his super fire breath.
Right.
And, moving off to that, I think the major difference between both characters is his intelligence.
Right.
Bowser has a super genius intellect that trump cards Knuckles.
Right.
He's smarter than him. But overall, please continue.
Now, for one, obviously, one of the main obvious abilities of Bowser is essentially the fact that he's an enormous monster. He has powerful strength. I mean, for the one,
and also he's a king. His secondary name is like King Koba. Kuba. It's Kuba, right? Kuba.
Right.
I always think Koba, but I think that's just like G.I. Joe machines.
Now, to be fair, Bowser, this guy, I mean, he's practically almost invulnerable for the most part. I mean, think about it. This guy apparently has fallen into lava. And he survived many times. You know what I mean? Right. That makes him really invulnerable and powerful and almost impervious, almost. And again, I mean, Bowser also has a lot of magical abilities as well. I mean, he's highly powerful. He's highly intelligent, according to John 12 here.
Exactly. He has a genius level intellect. So that's the major difference between two characters.
And again, much like Knuckles, Bowser is a highly trained combat fighter. And he's also extremely aggressive in a fight, so therefore that gives him an advantage in a fight, because when you're angry in a fight, that makes you more aggressive, it makes you more vicious, but at the same time, I mean, even if you have a genius-like intellect, being angry doesn't really help you as far as intelligence goes in a fight, because the smallest small misstep, caused by your temper or anger can easily become your downfall. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, again, that's kind of one of the beauties. So obviously he has his fire breath, which obviously he has magical abilities.
It's his main trump card.
He can summon lightning bolts, the electrokinesis. He has teleportation. You know what I mean? He has incredible stamina. So therefore, Bowser would be an extremely incredible fight, and he really would give Knuckles a run for his money. I mean, again, when you really look at it, their abilities. I mean, Bowser and Knuckles are a lot alike in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When it comes to specifics, they have very similarities when it comes to their skills and their strength, but beyond that, they're different in terms of Knuckles' transformations, like Super Knuckles, Hyper Knuckles, and stuff like that, and Bowser has his fire breath and his magic and multiple things like that. They differ in just like specifics abilities. But moving off of that, let's get into the actual fictional fight where we get both of these characters in a ring against each other. For me personally, the only major difference is the intelligence and the intimidation. As we all know, Bowser is a very intimidating character based off looks. He can intimidate anybody that he's facing off against. But, however, Knuckles is stronger. Knuckles, strength-wise, is far more powerful than Bowser. He can just punch him, and Bowser would just skyrocket from the earth. He'll just fucking be done.
But at the same time, you have to accept the fact that he's invulnerable. I mean, again, like I stated before, Bowser has fallen into lava and survived. I mean, again, that makes him a little bit more challenging to defeat. You know what I mean? That makes him practically almost powerful. So,
but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It's just a lot harder
to beat him. Not to mention the fact that I don't really think teleportation. Like, what is your personal opinion on the two specific abilities that come out to me, which is teleportation and electrokinesis?
Right.
Like, do you really see that having any effect on Knuckles in this fight? I don't really think so, because Knuckles, I think, will have the speed and the strength and the power to really deflect any kind of power that Bowser shoots at him, like fire breath. I don't think that'll have a major effect. I mean, maybe
that is one advantage that Knuckles has over Bowser. The fact that, I mean, as powerful as Bowser is, he does not have the speed or the agility of Knuckles.
Yeah, and I don't think strength even. I mean, like, and also Knuckles is far more skilled in a fight than Bowser. Bowser is basically, no pun intended, he's kind of like a browser fighter. I mean, he's not really, an expert to the level of Knuckles, where Knuckles is essentially like an expert martial artist. He's very skilled. There's a lot of history, and, there's a lot of, I guess, a good plot. There's a lot of source material that can go back to say, like, okay, Knuckles could do this, he can do all of this kind of stuff. Bowser doesn't have that to the certain extent. So I think, at the end of the day, the only thing that becomes a major difference... But
is Knuckles invulnerable?
Invulnerable? I think so. I think so. I think there's... What were you about to say?
Well, I mean, like I said, again, Bowser...
Right.
Has fallen into lava and survived.
Yeah.
Could the same thing happen with Knuckles? Could he survive, falling into a lava pit?
I think Knuckles... Okay, like, that's a good question, because the invulnerability comes a huge factor. Like, it doesn't matter how Knuckles can just punch him to death. He's invulnerable. He's going to kind of survive that to a certain extent. But I think the second Knuckles transforms into his higher transformation states, like fucking Super Knuckles or Hyper Knuckles and onward and onward, I feel like that would be enough power and strength to just dominate Bowser.
Right.
I think that's kind of like the difference. Transformation, strength, skill, those are the main trump cards that I think trump Bowser. Bowser has magic. I don't think that's going to be a big difference. I don't really see how any kind of...
Well, I mean, is this fight...
What magic can he use to really...
Well, is this a fight of their magical abilities, or is this a fight of straight-up one-on-one combat?
I think, at the end of the day, we have to come up with a winner that will happen, like, in the span of, like, a 5-minute fight in reality.
Right.
And 100% our subjective opinion. I have to say Knuckles would win.
Right.
Just based off strength, skill, power... and, stamina and speed.
Well, I think...
Bowser could win based off his power,
right.
his fire breath, his invulnerability. Maybe his magic could be a humongous influence in the fight,
right.
and also his intelligence. Bowser's just so much smarter than Knuckles. I think that would be a major difference. But overall, I think the second Knuckles transforms and he becomes like a higher version of himself...
Right.
It's just a done deal. Like, Bowser would be done. That's just my opinion.
I don't know. For me, like, he says Knuckles. For me personally, like, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it would be... I think it could go either way.
Right.
I mean, I think, like...
It could go either way. I mean, Bowser is very strong, and he's very intimidating character.
Like, I think in a straight-up one-on-one combat fight...
Yeah.
I think Bowser would dominate Knuckles.
In a combat fight?
In a straight-up one-on-one fight.
I say Knuckles. That's just me. I think
as far as magic, though.
Magic, I think in magic and power and in specific abilities, Bowser has the upper hand.
Right.
But, strength and fucking, Knuckles' transformations and freaking Knuckles' speed, stamina, and his skill. His skill just is far more dominant than Bowser. So I go with the win. If I had to put my money on it, I go on full on Knuckles. Yeah. But either way, it can go either way. Like, I mean, Bowser that's a good fight. I mean,
like for me, it's hard to really decide which is a winner because I mean one has an advantage over the other, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So again, it's really hard to pinpoint.
It's like skill versus power. That's the difference between the two. At the end of the day, when we have to call out a winner,
right?
But I say Knuckles. That's just my opinion.
Well, for me, it could go either way. Like I think easily, I could say Bowser, and I think most people would agree. And I can easily just say Knuckles, and I think most people would agree.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, I'm talking about not just one-on-one combat, but I'm including like powers in there. I think Knuckles, because Knuckles has the speed, and again that would make it harder for Bowser to really pinpoint and really have an attack towards Knuckles.
Yeah.
And again, as you said, like if he were to transform into his higher form, making him much more powerful than the previous form.
Yeah, so. And that you have it is our major verdict. I say Knuckles wins. You say Knuckles wins. But
I say it could go either way.
It could go either way. But at the end of the day, we have to give an answer. So, and I say Knuckles, and it is my channel, so I can do anything I want. So I say Knuckles overall. But that being said, our opinion doesn't matter. It's a subjective, valid opinion. Right. But it doesn't really matter. What do you think? Please comment below. Let us know. Who do you think would win in a fight between Knuckles and Bowser?
And why?
Yeah, and why. Hopefully briefly. You don't have to give us a paragraph of fucking why. But overall, let us know in the comments. And also go at our Twitters at Evilscar23 and at John12 and let us know there if you want to. Reply to us, forward us a tweet, and use the hashtag who would win Knuckles versus Bowser. But that being said, it's time to tease next week's who would win battle, which of course will be a fight between Nightwing from the DC universe versus Leonardo from the TMNT universe. Yes, a battle between two badass martial arts masters going at it to the death.
That's a really good fight, actually.
Yes, that was a requested fight.
That's a good
one. And I'm
one.
taking it. I'm doing it. Yes.
Well, whoever requested, that's a pretty good fight.
Yes, Nightwing versus Leonardo.
Yeah.
But before we end this video, Evilscar23 also has a request, which will be, boys and girls, an exclusive request fight for Wave 3, which will be coming out, obviously, when Wave 2 is done. But what is that request? Huh?
When's that?
Whenever this one's done. But let us know, which fight did you have in mind?
For those of you who don't know, he's already done one of my requests, which would be the Hulk versus Broly fight, which to this day remains your number one most loved...
Yeah, it's definitely my most liked and my most debatable fight that I've done, which is awesome.
Right.
And it was a request by you. I originally had no interest in doing it, but then I did it anyways.
I requested it because I thought it'd be a great fight.
Yeah, it would, and it sounds better too. Like when I was doing my Hulk versus Doomsday fight, all I kept saying was Hulk versus Broly. I couldn't get it out of my mouth. Like it was too hard not to say.
Okay. Well, I got one. I don't know if I would. I mean, I don't know if I would consider this a step up from Hulk and Broly, but it's definitely an interesting one.
Right.
This is my request. I was gonna do this.
Please tell me it doesn't have Goku in it.
No.
All right, good.
It doesn't have any Dragon Ball Z characters.
All right, good.
This was something that I was gonna do for mine, which I probably will do anyway. But still, here's one that I was gonna do that I've been thinking of as of late: Spawn versus Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
Right.
Spawn versus Ghost Rider. That's interesting. I kind of see who I think would win, but we'll obviously get into it once Wave 3 happens. But that being said, this is the end of Who to Win Battle, Knuckles versus Bowser. Comment below, let us know what you personally think. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Josh12 and at Evilscar23. Subscribe to his channel and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I hope you guys enjoyed. And also go to his channel to check out his Iron Man versus Wolverine. Do you have another fight planned? Because it's been a while since that fight.
I'm going to make more.
Do you have an idea of what the next fight is?
Well, I don't want to give anything away, but just know things are going to get heated.
Alright. I guess check it out. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John12.